Welcome back to the pod. Y'all are just checking in with your two favorite people on the internet or over your speaker. It is everybody's favorite uncle, yours truly, Uncle Don Don, joined by my virtual half, Paul, aka.
Qualified. How y'all doing? Nice to see you again, or nice for y'all to hear us again. Same thing. Y'all know what's going on.
And
Uh,
we're joined by a surprise guest today. Qualls, I let you tee him up.
Indeed. Another special gem. Every guest that comes on is a gem, but this one in particular, man, we go back. Man, our
Yeah.
journeys go back. We are tied.
Yeah.
We are sisters. You know, in the sense, but
In
no.
a deeper sense.
In a deeper sense, you know, if you know, you know. But good brother Jefferson.
Yeah.
Not his full name, but that's not his real name. That's what I call him. But Jeff, please introduce yourself to those who don't know you, and just remind those who do know you exactly who we dealing with at this point in time.
Oh my gosh. You know what? First of all, I was just thinking you call me Jefferson. I have so many nicknames. Like everybody, y'all have names for me. Like everybody got a name for me. Jefferson, Perkins. Well, that's the government, whatever. But me, Jeff, Jeffy, DJ PB and Jeffy, Jefferson, the baddest, however you want to call me, you know what I'm saying? But Jeff is fine or Jeffy is fine. But yeah, that's me. Creative artist, DJ, Kansas City kid, writer, lover, overall bad bitch, you know what I'm saying? So happy to be here with y'all. Love y'all so much. And I'm ready to dive in. I love the Just Checking In pod. Just happy to be here.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Y'all see all them titles, and he not lying by nan one of them. Nathan
Not a one, okay? And could have kept going. Could have
could have
kept
kept
going.
going for days.
I'm gonna
For
save it.
days,
I'm gonna
days.
save it for later.
Indeed.
You
But
left my favorite one off.
What? What's my wait? Which one?
Hi, my name's Jeff.
I
Oh,
I left that one out on purpose.
don't blame
Uh,
them for what they want.
yeah, but we
we
love it anyway.
we will start with our actually wait, before we get into the check-in, what we must clarify for the people, Donald, you've explained it on the pod before, but now that he's here, people have to understand Paul in the full
Oh,
context. So
Ooh.
I'm gonna probably explain this eons of episodes ago, but the reason I got the nickname Paul was
hmm
because we were going to Kansas City. I believe it's for Kansas City Greek picnic
hmm
ages ago, and we were going to see Jeff's mom, and so of course everybody calls me Qualls, essentially just my last name. So that is what Jeff introduced me as. However, what his mom heard and what it is at this point is Paul. That's my
hmm
name. That's what it is. So
hmm
that's where it came from. So y'all can thank Jeff and
Yeah.
Jeff's mom for that. But this is the Jeff where it all came from. So want
Okay.
to bring that full circle for
Yeah.
everybody. But it's almost 10 years and it's still standing strong. We
It
here.
is. Wow. Oh my God. For real. That my mama really did call you Paul my senior year. She was like, nice meeting you, Paul. I said, Mama, that is not his name. Like, she's like, and then what she said, she was like, oh shit.
I've got called Paul and I've got called Stanley over Stephen. So it's yeah.
Stanley Paul. Okay. I love it.
now I need to update your name in my phone. It's been Paul for the last 9 years, but now I need to put Stanley Paul.
Stanley Paul. That damn, you sound like a country singer.
Hey, Stanley
Where's your
Paul is
guitar at?
actually crazy because it kind of like it works as a name. Now, I'm not sure what that person does, but it does work as a name. Very interesting.
That
Yeah.
could be your OnlyFans account.
Well, or your country music career name. I mean,
Say one's a safer career, I would say. I would
Yeah.
think,
The OnlyFans is a safer one. That's the safer one.
it very much is.
Huh? Those country music fans, God. The
Beyonce bust down the doors for us in country, so it sounds like Stanley Paul about to make an album.
Yeah.
I'm about to
You
be
better
right up
not,
there with Shabuzi. Stanley Paul and Shabuzi. We about to get it.
dude. You better not be darker than a guitar. Like, get him out of here.
I'm crying. As y'all can see, See, we just be acting up. We be having our friends on the pod. But Donald, what is going on with you, good brother? How's your week been?
There's not enough minutes on the podcast to get into it. But I will say today is the first day, legitimately the first day in 2026 that I've gotten sleep, that I felt rested, and that I woke up with peace of mind. And for that, hair flip, I am
Uh-huh.
unapologetically here. Okay. And I mean, this is so true. Like all of what I just said is true, but it just also was perfectly fitting that it's Black History Month, that I am unapologetically here, that we have all brothers on the call today because I just felt like it was appropriate to also bring another brother in the podcast, which is whose sweater I'm wearing, our dear brother, brother doctor. Okay. BT McGuire. He has a unapologetically here collection that he started a sweatshirt, so we can, I guess, put some information out there. But I have on the black leadership. Oh, let's get the full effect. Boom.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh. Turn to the side. Uh-huh. Let us
dang,
see
I'm
it.
outside. You know,
Yeah. Okay. Give us all
Beautiful.
the angles. Yeah. Do a little 360. Uh-huh.
But no, yeah, when I saw this and he was advertising, I was like, oh, I definitely want this. And I told him, I said, how soon can I get it? Because I want to wear it on the podcast. And he was like, oh, for real? I'm like, yeah, for sure. Because we all are unapologetically here. And anytime that we can bring in another brother in any capacity, I would love it. But just real quick, this one specifically, the Black leadership. Is leadership isn't about titles, it's about impact. The Black Leadership sweatshirt centers confidence, vision, and responsibility, celebrating those who lead with integrity and intention in every space they occupy. And there are a ton of different Black fill in the blank sweatshirts. So if y'all are feeling unapologetically here, I say check it out. But that
Okay.
was a shameless plug for our dear brother, but also very fitting for me because when I tell you uppercut, uppercut, gut punch, black eye, 2026 has been taking me through and I've done all but cry. And it's only the second month of the year. So deep sigh.
Mhm.
Deep Negro spiritual side. Very fitting, very on brand.
Down on my luck.
Uh-huh. Up
Back
against.
against the
Oh,
wall.
I thought it was up against. Oh, wait, no, you're right.
Is it up against, back against? You,
Back
you
against
Maybe
know,
I've been
either one
trying.
works.
up or back against. It sounds like we listen. We.
Look,
It
tell
ain't
some.
no way to win over here.
I'm crying. Jeff, what's been going on with you, man? How's your last week been? Or just in general, how's your month been? How's your Black History Month been going?
Ooh, it's been a busy one. Yeah, after we get through January, people be talking about January so long. January is never long for me because my birthday is my birthday month, so I feel like I blink and it's my birthday, and then January's over. But yeah, Black History Month. Yeah, definitely been busy. Working, still trying to work and adjust to full-time job, my creative job, all my creative pursuits. I'm trying to figure out what new structure and routine looks like for myself to create less anxiety for myself. Yeah. Navigating grief with family, um, trying to navigate joy in my life too, as well. So I feel like I'm in this season of recognizing how to hold grief and joy at the same time. So that's just really been heavy on my mind, especially during Black History Month. I mean, you think about all the history of our community and just people who paved the way and all the things, but also you just think about all the real shit that we've gone through too as a people. And I feel like Black people, we always gotta try to hold grief and joy at the same time. So that's very reflective of what's been going on with me in my life currently, but also too as I just been celebrating, reflecting, and being grateful for another Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's what's going on with me. Big things, small things, things always in motion. Just trying to keep my head on a swivel, I guess.
I feel that. First of all, a pod hug from us to you and your mama, Yo-Yo G, as I
Yeah,
affectionately call her, Yolanda, for everything that y'all have had going on. But you bring
thank
up a
you.
great point for me because I feel like I perpetually live in the space of post joy and pre-grief.
Mm,
So when you said navigating grief and navigating joy. I don't know that I'm navigating either one of them because I'm stuck in
mhm,
the middle of coming off of maybe good and looking at potentially bad, but that's just, a long way to say I have anxiety.
yeah. Yeah.
So I don't, yeah, but it's nice to hear that verbalized from somebody else because then I'm like, I'm not going out my mind.
Mm-mm. Never that. Never that. One thing about it, two things for sure. Nothing that we experience has never been experienced by somebody else before. We all experience things together. Nobody, there's like no exception. You're not an exception to any type of human experience. Somebody's experienced exactly what you are going through right now. So it's just in different ways. That's one thing I'd be trying to remind myself of. It's like, you're not going out your mind. Other people are dealing with this in their own way too. So, no, podcast hug to you too. Uh-huh.
No, you all both make great points. And it's ironic because me and Donald talked multiple times on end about how long January was for us. But we understand that January is very different for you. So we get that. That makes perfect sense. But February, of course, has been flying by in comparison. Um, and I think this week in particular for me, I'm not sure what it was. Like I could probably pinpoint a few things that probably kind of got the ball rolling on the feelings, but I couldn't tell you one singular emotion. But it just this week was heavy, emotionally, mentally, and I think that to the point of some of the things I was navigating, there was a lot of times where I just felt like I went back and forth between like I know it's not just me like dealing with this, or I know it's not as maybe as big of a deal per se as it kind of feels right now. So I was able to make that distinction, but the heaviness still persisted. And so there was very much this idea of how do you navigate realizing and accepting that heaviness is there, even though you know the things kind of creating the heaviness are temporary. And how do you find that space? So again, that middle ground between grief and joy, like it's not the grief of losing a person, but I think I've also been in this space of, and Donald, I feel like I've mentioned this in one of the recent pods, but the grief of kind of reaching a point in your life where you just start to see that like things are changing, people are changing, and they're not all bad things, but like things are different. So maybe what you expected, what you thought would be, facing a realization that they no longer are or they no longer will be. Not blaming yourself for that, not blaming others for that. So there's a very interesting middle ground to try to stay on for your sanity. But I feel like this week was kind of the one of the first times this year I maybe really, really faced that head on. So yeah, those words definitely resonate for me as well. Just one, understanding that other people go through it, in their own way, but two, just kind of the reminder that it's part of the journey, it's part of life. These things happen, but it's important to find that middle ground. So yeah, definitely hits home for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, just stressful out here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it sucks because it's Black History Month. It's not supposed to feel this way. It's supposed to be more celebratory. It's supposed to be the energy is supposed to be higher. The month is already flying. It's just
Yeah.
it's going by too fast. I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I'll be like, I hate to sometimes just say, oh, well, that's life because I feel so reductive at times. Like, that's life. It is. And like you said, Steve, it's like, yeah, but it should feel more lighter or like jovial and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but it really hates to just always have to come back to that raggedy ass statement. Well, that's life. And it's like, yeah, and I'm tired of it being just, well, that's just life. Like, it's got to be something different.
So, you said the life experience, the thing that you experienced or whatever, somebody else has experienced before. Do you feel like life is really just improv? It's just yes and just a series of things that's coming up. Like we're
Yeah.
really just making this shit up as we go. But it
Yeah.
also has happened before or somebody has experienced before. But I feel like I am in this like I'm in this free improv show that I didn't sign up for. Does
Oh,
anybody
we
else feel
yeah. I mean, well, we said life was a simulation, so that
It
that
is.
That's a start. But no, the improv thing is funny because you are constantly figuring things out. There is always a yes and a both them. Like
Hmm.
there's always two sides. Like even to what Jeff was just saying, like there's the reality of yes, this is life, but there's also the reality of it shouldn't have to be reduced to that, like because of what we're experiencing. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know. I think there could be. I think maybe that's the beauty in it. You know, as annoying as it is, I think there's a beauty in kind of understanding that you get to make life, what you want to ultimately. Um, Even with all the things that you can't control, I think the things that you can control allow for you to make it your canvas. So I feel like once you kind of get to a place where there's a comfortability in that, maybe you get a little bit more comfortable with the yes and you get a little bit more comfortable with the idea of improv or simulation or the fact that we all just here trying to make it work the best way we know how. But yeah, no, crazy concept.
it is.
Did that?
I was laughing because I was like, I don't know if either one of y'all, when we were in school, did y'all ever go to any of like the campus improv
Mhm.
like shows? And if you've ever been to like an improv like theater or improv, like it really is some funny shit to witness because it's like the scenes that like people are acting out, they change so quickly. And they be like, okay, now I'm like, I mean, I don't know. It's like y'all in the scene like you're in a grocery store, and then a dinosaur comes in or some shit, and you be like, "What? That's like unrealistic." But you have to like improvise on the spot of like, well, what would you do if like some shit like that happened? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's interesting to kind of think about life being that like you think you're acting out a scene, and then here comes a wrench or whatever is coming into the scene, and it's like. Okay, so now what? I thought I had my lines memorized. Actually, here's a whole new set. You gotta go ahead and flip and recite on the spot. And you're not prepared for it because how do you prepare for things that you just simply are not aware of that are coming or that you just simply can't prepare for at times, you know what I'm saying? And so it does feel very much like an improv scene. It just yeah, it's funny.
Hmm. Question for y'all, for us, as black men specifically, because yes, um, with everything that we are talking about, do do you all personally feel like you all carry it a certain way because you're a man, yes, but also because you're a black man? Like the life thing is the life thing and is applicable to all, but obviously, walks of life can look different, and obviously life is different in a lot of ways based on a lot of things, but in this particular aspect of race and us being black, I'm wondering if you were to put in your own words, how would you articulate, how you carry the things that we're talking about as a black man, if that question makes sense.
Mhm.
Tee it up to our guests first.
Uh-uh. Y'all jump in. Whatever. I feel like I'm gonna be yapping the whole time. I will, but
Oh
Well,
crap.
that's why we asked you to come on the podcast.
okay. Now look. Um, okay, yeah. You know what? I think about this question a lot actually. Especially as I get older. And I was just you know what, actually I was talking to one of my really good DJ friends yesterday about it because she was telling me about her navigating some things with her fiance, and I was just like I was trying to explain to her, I was like, as black men, we are definitely socialized to avoid vulnerability at like all costs, and we are really taught to be so disconnected from our emotions and we're just kind of taught to just power through and carry stuff and I said like, even when in partnership it's really hard, I think sometimes for black men to let their partner see them at their lowest or let them see them like when they're just like really down and out because as black men we're socialized like you can't show that. You can't show that vulnerability or any type of weakness because you're supposed to carry everything. You're supposed to be the person who is driving things forward, taking care of your person, all these things, all these responsibilities. But that's not the point of partnership. Like you should, if anybody you should be able to be at your lowest in front of is your partner. So I was like talking to her about this, but I was like, it's really hard for even black men to be able to see that even when they have a loving, supportive healthy relationship or partner, it's still that struggle disconnect sometimes because it's like, ooh, if I let you see me at this point, what are you gonna think? You're gonna think less of me. And as men, I think we are just always just kind of taught to just keep carrying things despite when it's like we can't carry it in anymore, or we need to put something down real quick. But that's not how we are kind of taught to move throughout life and stuff. So it's funny you asked that question because I've been thinking a lot about the things I've been carrying a lot, the responsibilities that I have in my life, but also to trying to recognize when it's okay for me to put something down and when it's okay for me to like just let stuff go, but also to just know what's mine to carry and what's not to carry. But there is that pressure I feel sometimes of like, no, I gotta be strong for my mom. I gotta be strong for my family and all these things. But it's like sometimes I don't want to be the strong one. And like, does that make me less of a man because I say that? Like, and I think about those things sometimes, and it's just funny that you talk about that because I do think we are really taught to just kind of carry everything and keep going and keep chugging along because you don't want nobody to see that you can't hold it.
Yeah. No, you said a lot of things that I agree with and that I felt. And it's the reason I asked the question because it's funny on Instagram, I see these videos where it's like this is how guys handle a tough day. And it's like they're sitting in the car and they just take a couple deep breaths. They take the key out the ignition, then they just say, all right. And they open the door and it's like they just go about their day. And in general, like that's how for men, it's like, yeah, you take like 10 seconds, 15 max, maybe 30 if you
Mhm.
really want to give yourself a good time, right? To feel all of these emotions, all these things you're carrying, and then it's right back to almost just going about it like regularly scheduled programming. And again, like you said, Jeff, like we've been socialized to be this way. I also saw something recently where I think men are in an interesting place because we were socialized for so long to be that way, but now we're being asked to be the complete opposite. Like now the societal expectation is to be vulnerable, is to listen, is to understand. It's no longer just to be the person who provides and doesn't need to offer anything else but being all the stereotypical manly things. Now we're being asked to have all these layers to us that we weren't asked to, we weren't shown how to have them, but now you want, and it's not that like men have it in them, everybody has it in them, and like we have it in us to show these layers, and I think that's the beauty of men, honestly. But I think, you know, being in this place now where I think those who have not necessarily always had the problem being vulnerable or those who have been able to take those steps, I think even carrying the responsibility of trying to find that balance, and also not only all the responsibilities you feel for yourself personally, but also like wanting the best for your brothers as well, and understanding the gap between where like maybe all three of us may be like on this pod versus like, some other people that we just know who just have had different walks of life, have had a different journey. So it's not as innate for them, or it's not even just easy to take some of the steps that maybe we've taken. So yeah, that weight can feel unbearable at times. And like to your point, it's like, can I, if I say that this is unbearable, if I say that this weight is too much, what does that then say about me? And it creates a cycle that I think we all can agree is detrimental, but it's so real because it's really all we know psychologically, and the work and time that it takes to reverse that, is forever. I mean, I feel like you said, the older we get, the more we learn, the more we'll kind of see and the more we'll be able to change. But uh yeah, that process just takes time. And it can be an interesting journey and a fun, and it's hard. It's hard as hell. And it can be fun. You can make it worth your while, I guess. But I think the reality that it's hard for some men to even commit to that journey and that process is a very real thing that has to be acknowledged as well. So I don't know if that's a meeting somebody halfway type of thing, or if it's just a kind of is what it is, and I hate to reduce it to that, but yeah, the duality of that reality is something else, I tell you. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. Woosah. Look, deep
No,
Feel
nigga
out of
spiritual
breath.
woosah. Yeah.
very because the whole time y'all was talking, I was just like going through the flip book in my head. But like, I own soft boy era now.
Uh-huh.
That is not something that even, first of all, was a thing before with us, right? Us being black men in general. Come on, double blue. For those that can't see, PB and Jeffy over there is matching his Stanley, also known as Stanley Paul. But no, the soft boy era of it all, you hear like, oh, girl math, and I'm in my soft era, and all these other things that are like feminine presenting, or they kind of
Yeah.
go into this way that like women need to be taken care of or protected in the general sense, right? I think we all need to be taken care of. I think we all need to protect each other. And I think we can, do a better job of that moving forward. But it's this idea that I feel I have been taught by the world that black men have to lead. Black men have to, take on the weight of the world. Black men are public enemy number one, not to get from like deficit perspective and all that unraveling, but I just think even in the sense of like head of household and being a homeowner, right? I don't
Mhm.
have kids. If I did, I would be filing on my taxes as head of household.
Yeah.
That puts pressure on me, which is also why I don't want them because I don't I don't want to have, this is real. I don't want to have to
We
take care
know.
of anything. I'm barely doing it for myself. And we
Yeah.
talk and laugh every damn episode. Qual says if I need an adult, I come to you. I say this with love. Continue. But then from Donald, don't. Like, I don't want to be the adult in everybody's life.
Well,
I am here for you, Qualls. If you need me, please call me. But like, try not to need me.
oh my
Because,
God.
no, for real, because
So serious. He's
I,
so
I
I
just want.
I know he's so dead ass.
I'm so serious. I just want to exist. But the way my place in this world doesn't allow me to just exist, and I don't think that anybody really can.
Yeah.
So it comes with a lot of roles. It comes with, some duties as assigned, and it just is. But the moment people see that you can handle something, they give you more.
Yeah.
And if you can, handle a niece and nephew, then God blesses you with a child of your own. The moment that you can deal with grief, everybody perishes. The moment that you can deal with losing a job, you lose a couple more. The moment you can all do these things, and it's like we are, you know, Black leadership says that you are resilient because to lead means that you have, experienced the good, the bad, and the ugly. But sometimes it's guilt around the soft boy era because I don't cut my own grass anymore. I grew up cutting grass. I grew up doing everything. For the longest time, I used to not pay somebody for something that I could do or have done myself. So the idea of paying for a lawn service was like one, ridiculous, two, a waste of money, and in the back of my head, less than a man because why are you not doing the yard duties? I say this with love. I don't give a shit, and convenience is everything to me. So if I
Hey,
have the coin, I have the convenience.
listen.
That's just it. I paid somebody to paint my basement. We have
Yeah.
to talk about that offline, Jeff. But I paid somebody to paint my basement. Could I have done it? Sure. Did I want to do it? No. It's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with phoning a friend and saying, "Hey, if you can do this, I can have some time to myself." And the moral of the story is, I encourage soft boy era, but I feel like you have to earn soft boy era, uh,
Mm.
which is I
Why?
know, right? It's a real complicated thing because
It's
I'm looking
interesting
at
because I get it. I get
right?
it.
I'm looking at my teenage nephew, and I feel like he assumes soft boy era is given to him, and I'm like,
Mm.
you haven't earned it. You haven't done anything. Like it's a badge of honor, but then it's like, is this a cycle that I'm just perpetuating?
So that's an interesting point because when you first said the earn thing, I wasn't sure if that was like internal and personal, like you needed to earn it like within self or get that validation from somebody else. But the example makes sense because I think even if you kind of go back to generation, it's funny, y'all probably haven't. Have y'all seen the new Medea movie with Joe and the college road trip?
I've seen
Not
a
yet.
clip, but I haven't seen the movie.
I don't, y'all may not have planned on it, and I completely understand why. Don't get me wrong. If you have some time and just don't got nothing else to do, watch it. It's a great laugh, but there's also a great lesson in it from the standpoint of generations and just the different perspectives on our history. But to your point about like earning that like sophomore era, I think is it's interesting because yes, like since I've been through all those stages, since I've like done the things myself, I've gotten to a point where I don't have to feel bad for finally allowing help or allowing somebody else to do it for me. But I've done it first. Whereas, the new generation or the generation coming up now might feel because that's the way the world is moving as well, they might feel entitled may not be the best word, but they might feel entitled to this idea that I get to kind of be in this era when I think it's important for them to understand that softness is okay, that being helped is okay, that being vulnerable is okay. But the earn aspect is not in earning the right to do that, but it's kind of like it's just the work of it, like paying your dues in general. So you still have to learn, you still should learn to do these things on your own. You still should be able to do these, like you should know how to cut your own grass in the event that you need to. You should know how to paint a wall, change a tire, all these things in the event that you need to. Now, again, convenience is great. So, like, when we get to a point in a place where, you know, hey, yeah, hey, take care of this for me, big dog. I don't really got time to be dealing with all this foolishness. So be it. And not everybody is taught it either. So let me be clear. I'm not saying that, if someone was just not taught that that is inherently their fault. But I understand the duality of where the earning takes place. Sorry, Jeff, I ain't trying to single nobody out.
Just say
I don't feel
fire.
singled out. Okay, listen, I'm a boy. I'm not that type of boy. Sorry, and that's all right. So no,
Change a
yeah,
tire. Where's AAA?
what? Yeah, roadside assistance.
Look, seriously, we're calling them. Forget the spare. Yeah, just
Yeah,
call them people so
no,
out our day.
no. I think I get what y'all saying. Just in terms of like Donald, to your point, like you using your nephew as an example. There is a difference between teaching responsibility and feeling entitled to somebody doing something for you.
Mhm.
There's a real key difference there. Like paying for convenience because also too you're an adult and you have your own money and also too you work like you have income for your like whatever, right? This is your money that you're using to pay for your convenience, a service. Like that is I think that's totally different. But just thinking that people should do things for you or wait on you hand and foot, that's not like no, that's not what it is. And I do think that black men could benefit more from learning how to utilize services and just sometimes paying stuff for the convenience of it, not feeling like you have to know how to do every little thing. Like it's okay, you know what I'm saying? And Steve, I don't know how to change a tire, and I don't feel bad about it. Okay,
Yeah, you
I sure
shouldn't. Yeah,
don't.
you should.
And don't. Okay. That don't mean I don't know how to figure out how to get my tire changed. Okay. Hey, it is what it is. I can do some other stuff though. You know what I'm saying? I'm very resourceful. I might not be able to help you in that situation by helping you change, but I can figure out and contribute in some other kind of way, right? Because I have, I guess, done the work and been responsible to like learn how to do those things. Like when you're in a jam, what do you need to do? So yeah, now I get what y'all saying just in terms of earning it versus feeling entitled to it.
And that's a great point you make too, because that resourcefulness will look different, and it doesn't have to like changing a tire or just for whoever's out there listening or watching. If you can think of the most stereotypical manliest of things, like that's not the marker, right? For what makes you resourceful, what gives you purpose, or what makes you a man, right? Like for all the men that could do all the manly things, they couldn't put no logistical plan together to save their life, right? They couldn't map out nothing past whatever that particular job might be. But there are other men who could, right? So like that resourcefulness, there's a spectrum of it, and all of it should be appreciated. And that just speaks to me the larger conversation of like what it means to be a man, because I feel like what it means to be a man is be resourceful, and that is across the board, in all aspects. So yeah, don't be judging people that don't know how to change no tire. Then
Yeah.
But you know what? We should judge people who don't know how to wipe their ass.
Okay.
And I,
Period.
and I
Okay.
say that because when you're talking about what is the marker for like what a man is and say, "Oh, you don't know how to change a tire." I have been around grown men, and race has nothing to do with this, but I have been around grown adult men who have been unable to wipe themselves and
Yeah.
have good hygiene. So what is a man? A clean human, okay?
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
glad you brought that up because it's a thing, first and foremost. Men, we just I don't even want to hear none of this. It's a thing, right? Like the hygiene aspect for it, and it goes back to the conversation we was having last episode, Donald. Because do you know how many men, grown men, feel like good hygiene, wiping your ass, is somehow not straight?
I don't get that. I
I
do
don't
not.
understand it.
Okay, I'm gonna speak for half of myself. As straight men, okay, as straight men who want to be laid up with some women, first of all, women that allow it, y'all are complicit in
Ooh.
the man. I'm calling you out. But as a straight man, you want to be laid up with a woman and all up in a woman, you gonna destroy her pH balance. You have dirt under your nails and you about to put them where? Nah, that ain't what I was taught. Okay, I was taught that men take care of themselves for the betterment of them. But if
Yes.
you also want to be in there on some Adam and Eve feisty things going on. Like you also need to present your best self. If the body is a temple, treat it as such. Treat yours like that so you could treat hers like that. Because now y'all bumping uglies and sweeping dirt and crevices that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Talk
And
about it.
and I'll speak for the Adam and Steve community here. Don't touch me with no nasty, dirty nails. Don't touch me. Okay?
Hey,
Okay. If you do know how to change a tire, call me. Put your number in this phone. However, do not, do not
wash your
touch
hands after you
me,
change that tire. All right. Stop act like you've been raised right. Okay.
please. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you're going through in life, I feel like men especially, men especially, everybody, but men, no matter what you're going through in life, please, please keep yourself tidy. Just, even if you're not going to the salon, getting manicures, pedicures, whatever, know how to clean your nails. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I even encourage, even if you don't, if you are interested in like fragrance, like I literally love cologne. Like, I mean, if y'all know, like, oh, I love a scent. Figuring out what scent look like feels nice on your body, like all these things. It's just these are just things you can learn about yourself, and it's actually fun because for me it is because it's like, okay, how do I like to present myself? Like presentation is everything to me, just in terms of how I'm to present myself to the world. So it's nice being able to explore that, especially like style, hygiene, grooming, all those things. Like, and for me, going back to what you were saying, Donald, like leaning into soft boy, I love being able to go get a manicure or a pedicure or get my beard trimmed because it makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel good about how I'm presenting myself to the world. And just knowing I'm keeping myself upkept and tidy, just I don't know. I just move through the world a little different. You know what I'm saying? My chest up a little bit. But I just, yeah, like I can't stand the dirty long nail. Can't stand the funky ass man. Just all right, but I'm all right. Let me stop.
No, say it. Hey, speak your mind and speak your heart because it's
That's fine.
no, because
Woo.
it's needed. And men just have to do better in
We
general.
do.